Happy Monday, everybody! Welcome to the Jayda InStitches show. I hope you all had a lovely weekend, and to our U.S. friends and family, I hope you had a great July the 4th. I guess that gave you a nice long weekend. Last week was rather celebratory. We had Canada Day on Tuesday, July the 1st, and of course it was the Independence Day on July the 4th on Friday. So lots of fireworks, perfect week to get outside and enjoy the lovely summer weather here in the Northwestern Hemisphere. And speaking of summer, summer makes me think of yummy, delicious watermelon. Big slices and chunks of watermelon. I love watermelon. I also just love the colors of watermelon. So that got me really inspired last week, and I stitched up a coaster and placemat set, a little matching set. And I thought today we would make the coaster because that's about an hour's worth of work with me pausing and chit-chatting. There's a few things, a couple of neat techniques in here. This is mostly half double crochet, and the coaster and the placemat is double crochet. So it's basically the same techniques. It's just a taller stitch, shorter stitch. And this is more rows than this one. This one's fewer rows. We're going to do a little itty bitty color change in the row with the seeds. And the final row is the crab stitch. So single crocheting in reverse. So if you are new to either of those little techniques, we're going to learn them today. I'm using a 5.5mm hook. This is also known as an I or a 9. Pair of scissors, a yarn needle. And I recommend 100% cotton yarn. I've got a combination here. I've got some 24/7 size 4 mercerized cotton yarn, and I've got some Bernat Handicrafter. This is just sort of that dishwasher or dishcloth kind of yarn. It's also size 4. Now it's not mercerized. I thought I had some 24/7 in black, couldn't find it. So I grabbed this instead. I do have black cotton, but it's all cotton. It'll all work just fine. And since I barely need that much black for the little seeds, I didn't figure it was a big deal to mix them together. And for the coaster, you need about 40 yards of red. Actually, about half that. Maybe 20 yards of red, 6-ish yards of white, maybe 12 yards of green, and a couple yards, 4 yards of black, let's say, somewhere around there. Everybody uses a little bit more or a little bit less, depending on their tension. So have that in mind. And we can get going right away. I see a membership from Nico. Nico, thank you so much. Nico has gifted a membership. Congratulations to Joanna. Joanna's won it. Woohoo! Welcome back to the family, Joanna. Thank you very much, Nico. Okay, let's get into it. I'm going to put this lovely big thing to the side, and I'll put this one to the other side. Get my stuff out of the way. We're going to start with our red yarn, and I've got some scraps I think I'm going to be using up here, so I'll be tying in yarn as I go. We are going to start with a cinch circle, and I recommend the cinch circle. It's really not that difficult. The cinch circle will allow you to have next to no space in the center of your coaster, and that's the nicest thing. If you really struggle with it, I do recommend that you practice because it's such a useful little technique. But if it's driving you absolutely mental, then you can chain 4 and make a chained ring. But try to make the ring as tiny as possible. You do not want a space. So going to make a little fish symbol here. Hook goes through the center, grab the yarn, chain 1, and I have made and secured my cinch circle. So for the coaster, we are using the half double crochet stitch. So we're going to chain 1. The chain 1 doesn't count as anything. Sorry, I've already chained 1. You don't have to chain another one. Chain 1 doesn't count as anything in this particular pattern because we're going to go half double crochet right from the chain 1. So 12 half double crochet into the cinch circle to start the chain 1 at the beginning of each row. Doesn't count as a stitch, it just kind of gives us a little bit of height. So 12 half double crochets into the cinch circle. See, Maria, I think, was asking. Maria's asking, how did Penelope do with the fireworks? We didn't actually have any that close to the house. So that was nice. So she didn't really hear anything that would have made her skittish. But we've been out in the backyard in the past with a thunder crack, like a clap of thunder, a lightning bolt and thunder happening directly overhead, which obviously scared the daylights out of her. She turned and ran back to the house. But since then, we've had thunder and she barely gives it a passing thought. So I guess once you've been that badly scared, anything that's not that loud isn't really that scary anymore. So we weren't too worried about the incoming fireworks, and she was pretty good. I need to do 2 more here. All right, 12 half double crochets. Cinch up that circle nice and tight. Count them up. Make sure you've got 12. I need to stick in 1 more. I'll just stick my needle in there. There you go. And I'm going to recount. There we go. Cinch it back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There it is right there, 12. So that first one is a little short. So I'm going to stick my needle in there, or my hook, and slip stitch. Okay, that's 12 half double crochets. Just reminded that I should probably put my glasses on so I can see what's happening in the chat. Bethany B, Miss B is here, member for 76 months. Thank you. Bethany says, good morning. These are super popular lately. Been seeing them around, excited to make some. It's my birthday month. Happy birthday. So excited to see all the patterns and ideas to maybe go yarn shopping. Well, if it's your birthday, you got to go yarn shopping. And Lala's been a member for 70 months. Thank you, Lala. Lala says, happy World's Chocolate Day. Oh my gosh, don't tell the mister. Heading to my doctor appointment, wanted to say a blanket hellos, y'all. Well, hello. I hope that goes smoothly and quickly. And Roni's here. Hey, Roni. Roni's been a member for 43 months. Thank you. Says, happy to catch the live stream on my 50th birthday. Happy birthday, girl. Oh my gosh. 50 gorgeous years young. Congratulations and happy birthday. All right. That was row 1 of our watermelon coaster. Happy to be making a coaster with you guys today. We are going to continue with our red color and the half double crochet stitch. So we're going to chain 1. I'm going to work over top of my short tail. You don't have to. You can leave it to the back and weave it in later. But I like to just sort of do things as I go. We're going to work 2 half double crochets in the same place that we joined. So it might be a little tight. Get 2 half double crochets in there. And then 2 half double crochets in each stitch all the way around. So we'll go from 12 half double crochet stitches at the end of row 1 to 24 half double crochet stitches at the end of row 2. Same thing. I recommend counting them up as you get to the end of a row, just to make sure that you've got the right stitch count. It doesn't always, it's not always super important to have the right stitch count, but when you're working in the round and you're going to be doing some color changing, it is pretty important to have the same, or have the right stitch count so that things look correct. And I've got to tie in some more yarn here. I love using up some scraps. There we go, nice little knot, nothing fancy. Two half double crochet stitches in each stitch all the way around. I'm going to work over top of those little tails now too. And we are not using the false stitch. We are skipping the false stitch. I think I've got 1 more stitch left, but I'm going to double check by counting. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. Yep, 1 stitch left. 23, 24, all into the last stitch. So the false stitch is usually pretty obvious when you're using the double crochet stitch, but in this case, because we're chaining 1 and half double crocheting right on top of it, it kind of pushes it over, which is why we don't need to use the false stitch. You just want to find the first half double crochet of the row, slip stitch to join, and you won't have a little gap there. That's row 2 all complete. Still working in the round. We've got 24 stitches down. Row 3, we're going to start to work in our black yarn. So grab that black yarn. You don't need very much, and you don't need to put it on a spool or anything. You're going to be just doing a little bit of crochet with it for 1 row only, and that's it. So here we go. I'm going to sip of my water. Hello, everybody. If you're just joining us, we're making a watermelon coaster today. It is part of the set. I've got a written pattern. It includes both the coaster and the placemat. Both of those are, I should say, it's one pattern. It includes both patterns. It's in the shop. It's on sneaky sale today if you're interested in picking it up. A little sip of water. All right, here we go. For row 3, we're going to chain 1 and half double crochet twice in the same stitch as joining. So we're starting with red. Half double crochet into the next stitch. This is the stitch before a color change. And if you've done any color changing work with us, you know that the stitch before you change colors, so, and by that I mean, here are 2 black stitches. There's a red stitch just before it. This is the stitch before the color change. So the red stitch before we change to color. The second of the 2 black stitches would be the stitch before the color change, because you go from black to red to black, etc. So we're going to make a loop. Don't even need to make a slip knot. You can if you want, but you don't have to. Make a loop and finish off that half double crochet stitch with the black yarn. That gives you the correct color on top of your previous red half double crochet, and now it sets you up to work 2 half double crochets into the next stitch using black, and these are our little seeds. So I'm going to work over top of that short tail. Make sure I got the right yarn here. I'm going to work over top of my red. I need to carry red. Using black, 2 half double crochet stitches into the next stitch. 1 and 2. Okay, so we've established the black yarn, and I got to take out the second one because you see what I did there? I finished it before I shouldn't have. So first, 1 half double crochet stitch in black. Start the second one in the same place. I don't want to finish it. I want to change back to red. Quick color changes here. So whoop, finish it with red. The top is black. So 2 black stitches up here, 2 black stitches along the side, but I've switched back to red. I'm going to carry the black yarn until I need it next. And I'm going to work over top of that short tail too, because why not? With the red yarn now, we're going to half double crochet once into the next stitch. 2 half double crochet, still in red, into the next stitch. And 1 half double crochet into the next stitch. But this is the stitch before the color change. So I'm going to put my red down. I'm going to pick up my working black yarn, yarn over, pull back, and I have completed that half double crochet. So you can see the half double crochet is entirely in red. It's even got the right color up top, but now I've switched to black. 2 half double crochet stitches in black in the next stitch. I'm working over top of my red. And before I finish the second one, I'm going to put my black yarn back down, pick up the red yarn. It wants to sort of twist a little bit on me, so I'm just going to move my balls around here. Finish that stitch with the red. I am now back to my red yarn. So I've got 2 full stitches in black, but I'm back to red. Half double crochet once, carrying black into the next stitch. And 2 half double crochets into the next stitch. The color you're not using, you are carrying. You need to keep carrying it all the way around because you always need it. And half double crochet into the next stitch. But we're changing colors again. I'm going to put my red down, pick up my black yarn, finish that stitch with black. There we go. So far, the pattern is 2 half double crochet in the next stitch, half double crochet into the stitch after that. 2, 1, 2, 1, all the way around. But we're changing colors. So you go 2, 1 in red, 2 in black, 1, 2, 1 in red, 2 in black, 1, 2, 1 in red, 2 in black, 1, 2, 1 in red, 2 in black. That's the little pattern all the way around. You'll have 6 little divots of seeds, and everything else in between will be red. So here we go. 2 half double crochet into the next stitch. You're carrying your red, you're using the black. You do 1 full one in black, and then you start the next one in black, and then you put down black, pick up red, switch back to red. Finish that stitch. There you go. So far I've got 3, so I'm halfway done almost. Half double crochet into the next stitch. Now I'm carrying black again. The yarn color I'm not using, I am carrying. All right. So that's 1 in red and then 2 in the same place, 2 half double crochet in the same stitch in red, and then 1 more in red, but it's the stitch before the color change, so we are switching back to black. So I start it in red, put down my red, pick up black, finish it. There we go. So 2 in black, 1, 2, 1 in red. I'm back to black, carrying red, and I want to do 2. Start the second one and I finish it in red. It's a very quick little color change. There we go. Carrying my black yarn, 1 half double crochet in red in the next stitch, 2 half double crochet in red in the next stitch, 1 half double crochet in red in the next stitch, but I don't finish it. I have to put down red, pick up black, and finish it with the black yarn. And that sets me up to do 2 more half double crochet in black in the next stitch. Little sip of my water here. All right. 2 half double crochet in the next stitch. I'd say this is the one row that you kind of have to pay the most attention to when you're doing this little pattern. Everything else is, you're basically just counting, but you don't have to sort of pay as close attention, at least once you've maybe made it once or twice, you kind of get used to the pattern. Coasters and like placemats, sort of matching sets, they're the kind of thing you make a few of typically. Half double crochet once in the next stitch using red, you're still carrying black, 2 half double crochet in the next stitch using red, carrying black. Half double crochet once in the next stitch, but you're going to finish with black. So put your red yarn down, finish that stitch with black, 2 half double crochet in black in the next stitch, 1 completely in black, 1 begun in black, and then finished in red. And that leaves you with 1 half double crochet in red in the last stitch. Join to the first stitch you made with a slip stitch. That is it for the use of the black yarn. So I'm going to flip it over. You can snip your black yarn, put the black away, and you can leave that out and weave it in later. That's typically what I do. And in the meantime, we can continue with the pattern. Doesn't that look cool? I just think that looks so neat. And that is our little seed row. That was row 3. Like I said, probably the most complicated row. It's the one you had to pay the most attention to. Row 4, we're going to continue in red, and we're just continuing with the increased pattern now. So Dawn says, are you making coasters? Yes, we're making coasters. Hello, Vima. Vima's busy in the chat with a very generous super chat. Thank you so much, Vima. Vima says, hi, Jayda. How are you? Hoping you are keeping well. That's a beautiful coaster. I think I'm going to turn it into a purse. It would look awesome. Oh, how neat would that be? Ha ha! A watermelon purse. Very fresh. Very fresh. You might want to use the placemat version. It's much bigger. And then you can have, I think, 2 of these with a little strap. That would look really cute. That would make a very fresh purse. Very summery. All right. Thank you, Vima. Vima with the ideas. Here we go for row 4. We're still using half double crochet. We're going to chain 1 and work 2 half double crochets in the same stitches joining. Chain 1s don't count as a stitch. They're just kind of letting us start things off. Half double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. And then we repeat 2 half double crochet in the next stitch. Half double crochet once in each of the next 2 stitches. So 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, all the way around. Nice and simple. Back to just plain old sort of circular increasing here. 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1. No color changing. It's the last row of red we're going to do. And we're going to go to 48 stitches at the end of this row. We were at 36 at the end of the last row where we did all the color changing. Two, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1. That's row 4. Increasing to 48 stitches all the way around. A hot pad. Great idea, Barbara. Yes. Whip up 2 of these. That'd be a super cute hot pad. Very summery. And then it'll go with your placemat or your coasters or both. You can have everything on the table. One to put something hot on. Others to put plates and mugs on. Hee hee. I do love the look of watermelon. That red and white and green with a little bit of black. It's just so sharp. Two half double crochet followed by 1 half double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. Little repeater that's done 12 times all the way around. And that's the last set. You're always skipping the false stitch, which is this little guy right here, but he's hard to see because we have 2 half double crochets that kind of squeeze their way over. Join with a slip stitch to the first half double crochet you made, and that is row 4. That's 48 stitches in total. That's all the red we need for our coaster. So you can snip your yarn and fasten off. I will be working over top of that tail because it's just easier. I only have this one tail to weave in later. I could actually weave it in right now. Why not? I'm actually going to weave it in right underneath. So I'm looking at the back. I'm going to make sure that I'm weaving it in across the back. And I'm not going to go back and forth because my stitching is it's on the tight side, so I don't really worry about it coming undone. But I also don't want it to be too bulky underneath those red stitches. So only once, going all the way around across the back. There we go. Goodness me, Maria, thank you so much for picking up the pattern. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, on sneaky sale today. Oh, wait, I've got a sign. I have a sign. That's thank you. Thank you to Maria. Thank you to my lovely family members as well for giving us your membership milestones, all the sweet messages. And thank you to Nico for gifting a membership earlier. And keep remembering this sneaky sale. Today's watermelon pattern is on sneaky sale. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. We have fastened off the red. We are going to get to this crisp white. Don't you just love this? I mean, red, black, white, and a little bit of green. There's just nothing like it. It is so pretty. I love it, I love it, I love it. We're going to take the white. We're going to start with a little slip knot. We're going to join our white yarn in the same place that we fastened off. So right underneath where you fastened off the red, join with a slip stitch. Chain 1. Chain 1 doesn't count as anything. 2 half double crochet in the same place that you joined your yarn. I'm working over top of my tails, both of them now. And we're going to half double crochet once into each of the next 3 stitches. So 2, 1, 1, 1. 2 half double crochet to start, half double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches. And we are going from 48 to 60 stitches at the end of this row. Hello, Becky. Becky has been a member for 12 months. Thank you, Becky. Becky also put Christopher Cross in my brain earlier today. Thanks so much, Becky. The Mr. thanks you too. Becky says, these are so fun. Who doesn't love watermelon? Perfect for July and August. Thank you again, Jayda and Mr. InStitches. Thank you, Becky. Yes, I love watermelon. Oh my goodness, Veronica. Thank you for picking up the pattern. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Cherry's in the house. Hello, Cherry B. Cherry's been a member for 61 months. Thank you, Cherry. Cherry says, hi guys. Wow, watermelon. LOL. I guess, oh goodness me, Joya, thank you. Thank you for picking up the pattern. I guess, I mean, if we want to be a little risque, I could say nice set of melons, right? It is a nice set of melons. Thank you, Cherry. Oh my goodness. Oh, I should get out my little sign. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for your support and making me smile. I sit here and laugh a lot with you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, still working on row 5. It's the white row. this little bit of white that's inside the rind of that watermelon. 2 half double crochet to start, half double crochet in each of the next 3, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, all the way around. We'll have 60 stitches at the end of row 5, all in white, and that'll be it for the white. We'll be switching to green next. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, somebody asking a question about the yarn. Yes, I'm using cotton. I'm using cotton. Susan, whenever I make something that's probably going to come into contact with hot or cold, or is just generally going to be used around a table, I like to use cotton. Cotton is absorbent. It doesn't react badly to heat. It doesn't mind getting cold. You can also wash it typically in the washing machine, although I will say this. You can put 24/7 cotton or any cotton in the washing machine, and I do. And you can put it in the dryer too. It's just that the washing machine and the dryer is hard on the things we make. So I prefer to hand wash. And if I'm really pressed for time and I don't want to hand wash, gentle cycle in the washing machine. And if you've got those little lingerie mesh bags that zipper shut, those are nice to wash your handmade things in as well. And then I'll lay it flat to dry. And I'll just, put it on a towel, or even if it's sort of, I've got it sitting outside on like the picnic table or something, I'll just sort of like pat it into place and let it dry. And then it keeps them looking nicer longer. So highly recommend hand washing when you can, and don't use the dryer. The dryer just bumps and thumps and rubs everything together, and it just makes it look older faster. You don't need to do that. Most of this is 24/7 cotton. You know me, I love 24/7 by Lion Brand. Not a sponsored bit, but boy, do I love it. I really do. It's my favorite. So I'm just really happy that they support the show every so often. But it's just so pretty because it's mercerized. So it's strong and sort of shiny. And I like it for household decor, and I like it to wear too. I haven't tried the size 3 lightweight. It comes in medium size 4 and lightweight size 3 now. Haven't tried the lightweight. That's next on my wish list of things to get. Hello, Rose. Rose has been a member for 22 months. Thank you, Rose. Rose says the coasters are fun. Will look great under drinks. Yes. Nice and fresh. Thank you, Rose. I think so. There are plenty more summer weekends left in this summer. So make yourself a set of pretty coasters and put a nice pretty drink on it. I recently got a sleeve of pineapple pop. Haven't had that before. I'm now obsessed with pineapple pop. Very tasty, not too sweet. Makes a lovely little refreshing sipper in the evening. Mr. Stitches and I don't drink a lot of pop, but when the summer rolls around, we like to get some. 2, 1, 1, 1 to finish the row, skipping the false stitch. Do not need to use it. Join with a slip stitch to the first stitch that you made and fasten off. And if you have a little bit of a gap, I've got a fix for you. So fasten off. We can weave our tail in. So this is the little gap I'm talking about right here, right where that little false stitch is. So we're going to get rid of that. We're going to take our yarn that we just fastened off, and we're going to go down underneath the 2 half double crochets that started the row. Whoop. So first going in one direction, and make sure we don't pull that out of alignment. So it's going, first of all, it's going in this direction. Then we're going to flip it over and run it going in the other direction, still underneath those white stitches. And just cinch it ever so slightly. There we go. Takes care of that. And then, once you've got that little gap closed, thank you, Bethany! Thank you so much! Skip over that last loop and go back the way you came. And that will keep it where you want it. It'll keep it from sort of sliding back open. There we go. That is the white bit done. You can also always shuffle your little hook, your little stitches around. You can always shuffle stitches around. Get that nice little closed look going. And we're on to the green. That's it. 2 more rows left of the green yarn, and this is our watermelon coaster. Now it makes me want to have some watermelon. Take our green, start with a slip knot. This is row 6. So not too much different. We're going to join our yarn right where we fastened off with a slip stitch. Chain 1. Chain 1 doesn't mean anything, just gives us a little bit of breathing room. 2 half double crochet in the same place that you joined. 1, 2. And now we're going to half double crochet into each of the next 4 stitches. So it's your ever increasing, evenly increasing circle. Should be pretty familiar by now. I'm working over top of that short tail. All right, 2 half double crochet to start, half double crochet in each of the next 4 stitches, and repeat. 2 half double crochet in the next stitch, half double crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. Repeat that all the way around. We go from 60 stitches at the end of row 5 to 72 stitches at the end of row 6. It's always good to pause, make sure you're not missing anything. 2 1 1 1 1 2 1 1 1 1, or count in your head 1 2 3 4 5 6. We all use numbers in our brains a little differently. I hear music when I count, when I'm using math. There we go. 2 4 2 4 2 4 2 4 2 4 2 4. Everybody likes a 2 4. 2 half double crochet in the next stitch, half double crochet in each of the next 4 stitches, and I'm halfway around my second last row. Oh, making some for the play kitchen. Bethany, I love that idea. That is a great idea. Oh my gosh. Gee. Could you make them smaller? Yes, you could. You could make them smaller. Easiest thing to do would be to use the smaller hook and the 3-weight yarn if you got some. Oh my gosh. Mini melon coasters for the little mini kitchen. Well, that's going to make me smile all day. Two half double crochet in each of the next 4. It's lovely and repetitive. I think that's another reason that it's so soothing to crochet. You may find, it depends, you know, some of us have got easier tension than others, but you may find some of you that it's like really rippling on you. I found this one rippled on me when I made the first one, but my tension is relaxed, so I don't have any rippling this time around. If your stitch counts are correct, don't worry about it. It'll literally flatten out if you just put it down and like just let the heat of your hand kind of flatten it, smooth out the edges. And if it's still giving you a little bit of trouble, you can always block them flat. But if your stitch count is correct, then they will lay flat. So even if they look like they're rippling a little bit, don't worry. That's often typical when you're working in the round. 2 half double crochet. This is my last little repeater, and 1 into each of the remaining 4 stitches. Skip the false stitch and join with a slip stitch to the top of the first half double crochet we made. All right, so that is row 6. That is 72 stitches. For row 7, we are going to be working backwards. We're working the crab stitch, and it's single crochet. We're not doing any increasing, so we're still going to have 72 stitches at the end of this row, but now we're going to work backwards. So if you've never worked the crab stitch, it's single crochet. You're just going in the opposite direction. You don't have to change hands or anything. You're just always stepping backwards. So it takes a little bit of getting used to. I'm going to have a little sip of my water here. Debbie's asking if this pattern could be used for citrus fruits. I would say so. Making some segment lines. Let me think about it. I mean, there's a few different ways you could stitch them in. You could chain stitch them in. There might be a way to use the spike stitch. I'll have to give that a bit of thought. I like that idea. Okay, here we go with the spike, or I should say, now I got that on my brain, the crab stitch for row 7. The chain 1, and we're going to single crochet into the next stitch going in the other direction. So normally, I'm right-handed, I would work going to the left. If you're left-handed, you would work going to the right. But I'm right-handed, I am now going to work going to the right. So if you're left-handed, you're going to work going to the left. Everybody got that? So this is the next stitch I'm going to work into. So you if you have to, you can tighten up on your yarn. You're pulling up a loop just like you would if you're regularly single crocheting, but it might cross a little bit, and that's okay. That's 1. Going backwards. So that's the stitch I'm going for. I like to kind of hold my loop, get it out of the way. Hook goes through the stitch, going in the opposite direction. Pick up a loop like normal. It might want to cross a little bit. That's okay. Just single crochet is normal. And what you're going to get is this, well, it looks like this. It's this rope kind of effect. It looks like rope. The reason I like it on this pattern is because I feel like it gives you the sense of the rind of the watermelon. So I like to just tighten up my yarn a little bit every time I finish a stitch. Again, I'm going backwards, so hook goes through, I tighten up a little bit, pick up a loop, because I'm single crocheting, I'm just going backwards. And then after a little while, you kind of get comfortable with it. I always move a little slower when I'm doing the crab stitch because it is funny. It's like counterintuitive to go and kind of crochet backwards. And then of course your stitches look different because you are pulling the loops in the other direction. So you see that sort of rope effect? I like the crab stitch. It is a neat finishing row. You do have to sort of fiddle with your tension a little bit, but like anything, you get used to it. Practice doesn't necessarily make perfect, but it sure does make better. And in the case of crochet, I would say that practice makes even. All you really want is even looking stitches. So practice makes even. Nice even stitches. And yeah, that looks pretty even. If I don't race through it, I get fairly even looking loops happening. And that's what I'm going for. Hello, Sue. Thank you, Sue. Sakura Sue in the house. So no stitch count changed. There's only 72 stitches in this row as well. And that's, like I say, you might see a little bit of, it might want to ripple on you. Don't worry, because the second you just put it down and flatten it out, it'll be just fine. So let me continue here. I think I'm going to tighten up that last one. That was a little too, I really want to try and be as even as I can. So sometimes when I'm working the crab stitch, I do take my stitches, I pause and look at them every once in a while, and if I feel like there's a loop that looks a little bit ridiculous, then I'll take that stitch out and do it again. For all of you suffering from seasonal allergies, I feel ya. I finally had to give in and take an antihistamine the other day, which I don't like to do because they always sort of knock me out. And I was busy doing some yard work and using my little miniature chainsaw, and I started to feel that weird, what's that sort of not the word false isn't correct, but that weird feeling of exhaustion that's not real, like that false exhaustion that you get from, at least I get from antihistamines. And I thought, oh, I probably shouldn't be operating a chainsaw. So I cut the day short. I didn't really want to, but oh, it was either that or just the seasonal allergies are kind of really giving me a hard time this year. I think sometimes they're worse than others. There's Sakura Sue with a membership milestone too. Hello, Sue. Sue has been a member for 70 months. Thank you, Sue. Sue says, hi, Jayda. Et al. So happy I had time for the live show today. Miss this wonderful family. I am really happy you did too. I'm so delighted when any of you are able to make it. I really appreciate it. There's the gifting ninja Nico herself. Nico, thank you. Nico has gifted a membership. Thank you so much. Congratulations to Kathy. Welcome to the family. Awesome sauce. Thank you so much, Nico. Oh, wait, I gotta get my sign out. Thank you. I thank you. The InStitches family thanks you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am a handful of stitches away from the finish of row 7. This is the end of row 7. Just the crab stitch to finish things off. So the coaster and the placemat are very similar. The placemat uses the double crochet stitch throughout, except for the last row. It also is just the crab stitch. So single crochet backwards, basically. And there's more seeds in the placemat version because it's bigger, so there was more room for more of them. So this is double crochet, this is half double crochet. There are more rows in this one. There are fewer rows in this one, but they both end with the crab stitch. Both are written up in the same pattern. So that's the pattern in the shop that's on sneaky sale today. And thank you so much to all of you who've picked it up. I really appreciate it. And that's it. That is row 7. When you're finished, you just want to slip stitch into somewhere around that first stitch that you made. I want to make that nice and tight. Then you can fasten off. And I like to pull it directly into some of the stitches right on the front, just so I can even up that closure. And then I will pull it to the back and weave the rest of it in. And by that, I mean, like, I just want to just have that kind of all mesh together. I like that crab stitch all to kind of just mesh together so you don't really see the beginning and the end of the row. And then I'm just going to poke this right through to the back, flip it over, and weave it in on the back. All right. And I'm not going to weave it in largely under the crab stitch. I'm going to just tug that tail down until I get to the row of half double crochet below, and I'm going to weave it in back and forth under that. And I just do that because I feel like it's easier for me to identify the half double crochet stitches that I want to weave the tail in. And the crab stitch is just so crossed at the back, I don't really want to mess with that. So I just weave it in underneath these stitches instead. But you're welcome to weave your tail in anywhere you feel is comfortable, especially if you want to close in some gaps. Miss Sue, Secure Sue, has also gifted a membership. Thank you so much, Sue. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. I guess I need a congratulations sign as well. Congratulations, Destiny. Destiny's won it. Welcome back to the family. Thank you, Sue. Sue and Nico are gifting ninjas today. I'm going to go through a couple more stitches and then I'm going to turn around and go back the way I came. There we go. And that should be it. And Maria, oh my gosh! Speaking of ninjas, Maria has just gifted 5 memberships. Holy smokes, thank you so much, Maria. You guys are dolls. Where's my sign? Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And congratulations and welcome back to Laura, Lauren, Valerie, Rita, and Tori. Welcome back to the family and welcome to the family. Congratulations and thank you, Marie. Maria, thank you, thank you. Nico, Sue, and Maria are gifting ninjas today. Thank you so very much. That is the watermelon coaster. Look, I've got a lovely pair of melons now, ladies. For the first time in my life. Oh my goodness. All right. Oh, I love it. Very fresh, very summery. The other thing I like about the placemat, if you're not on, the placemat is 12 inches in diameter. These guys are a little over 6 inches in diameter. So nice size, nice big size for a mug or a cup. And this is more than enough size for a dinner plate. You can even use them kind of like charger plates if you want. I love these. I also like to put one in the center of the table. So if you only want to have like a little splash of your watermelon on the table, because maybe you've got a busy tablecloth down or something, or you don't really want to use, like maybe you feel like takes up too much space because you're trying to cram a lot of people in, then you can just use the coasters at every place setting and then put one of these in the center of the table. I do that sometimes because we have a small round table and I can't always cram as many of the placemats and things in that I like. So I always have at least one placemat made when I have a set so that I can put it in the round in the middle of the table. And sometimes I just focus on making my coasters. So 2 coasters and a placemat. Ah, love it. This is so, oh my gosh, I almost got Mickey, watermelon Mickey, Mickey Mouse. Maybe if I did it a little bit like that. There you go. Watermelon Mickey Mouse. Anybody? I feel like... Barb says, how do I make sure I have it set to accept a gift membership? So when you see some sweet person gift memberships, you should see a little sign underneath that says, you too could win a membership. And it says something like accept gifts or allow gifts. Literally click the word allow gifts. It should be like a little hyperlink. And you can turn it on. That'll turn on for your channel. And then you can you may win one the next time it comes around. And if you've already turned it on, then just know that you only have to do it once. So if it's on, great. And then it's the algorithm that sort of hands out the gifts as they come in. It sort of decides who gets them based on a whole pile of different criteria. I'm not always sure what they are, but something to do with like if you're subscribed and how long you've been subscribed and how much you watch and how many live streams you've been around for and all that kind of thing. It just sort of, at least that's what they tell us, the algorithm figures. So the algorithm hands it out, but as long as you've clicked on allow gifts, it's turned on for this channel, but only this channel. Anybody else you watch live, if there's gifting that goes on, you have to turn it on for each individual channel. So that's how that works. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Sakura Sue has gifted another membership. Thank you so much. Congratulations to Kaylin. Welcome back to the family, Kaylin. Our gifting ninjas are... See, this is what I mean when I say best family on the internet. You guys are sweet. You're generous, you're supportive, you're creative, you're funny. You've all got such an awesome sense of humor. You can appreciate me making terrible middle-aged lady jokes here. Oh my gosh, Fox Fur says bikini top. Heck yeah. I mean, why not? That's sexy. I gotta say, that's from Mickey to bikini. You guys are so much fun. Good Lord. Thank you, Sue. Thank you, Nico. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, everyone who picked up a pattern. Thank you to our family members for being here and handing out the membership milestones and saying such lovely, sweet things. And thank you, everybody. If you're subscribed, I really appreciate it. It helps us. It tells the algorithm that we matter still and that people actually want to watch the show. And it lets me do things like this. Live stream with you guys on a Monday. Oh my goodness gracious. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you. And Bethany. Bethany is gifted a membership. Goodness gracious. That one was for the little miss. Thank you, Bethany. Congratulations to Debbie. Welcome to the family. You guys, you're absolutely marvelous. All of you. Every single one of you. And I hope this helps make your Monday lovely. We're heading into another week of July. I hope it's gorgeous. I hope it's creative. I hope it's full of inspiration for you guys. And if you want to make one or two, a pair or a set of these, and you want the rest of the family to see it, please feel free to send a photograph to me at the Etsy shop. You don't have to have an account. You can just go to our Etsy shop. The link is always in the description box. And you just click on message seller or contact seller. It might say something different depending on the software that you're using. And you can send me a photo along with your note. So if you're using a computer, there's a message box that you open, and in the top right corner, there's like a little, looks like a landscape icon. You just click that, lets you take or add a photo. I guess upload a photo. You're not really taking photos with your camera or with your computer. But if you're using a mobile device, and a lot of us are, when you click message seller and you send a little message to me, just look for your camera icon. You click the camera icon and it should give you the option of uploading a current photo or taking a photo. You can do either. And then I will happily post those pictures in little roundups in our posts tab over on the what used to be called community. It's now the posts tab right here on the YouTube channel. And I love to do that. It is so much fun. Everybody kind of gets a kick out of seeing what other people have done. The unblanket for July went up on Friday. We went sailing at sunset this month, and some of you have already been sending in your July unblankets, which are unbelievable, and I'll be sharing some of those towards the end of the month, so keep the photos coming. I love being able to share them all, and it makes me happy. It makes me happy to see people having fun with the patterns that I work really hard on, so I really appreciate it when you guys take the time to send me a little note and a picture. Really, really appreciate it. All right, my darlings, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed making a little I've got Mickey Mouse, a watermelon Mickey Mouse. I've got Mickey Mouse on the brain. I hope you enjoyed making some watermelons along with me today. And we'll see you Friday, if not before. Keep an eye on that posts tab for more crafty, yarny fun here at the Jayda InStitches show. Blah, 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 blah. I need another cup of coffee. You guys are wonderful. Thank you so much. Have a safe and crafty week, and we'll see you soon. Bye, guys.